It's been 6,592 days since XDefiant was supposed to be released. And that's right, you guessed it, XDefiant is still not here. And by the looks of it, yeah, it's looking like it might not be here for a little while. We've got some juicy details and very interesting things that have happened over the course of the last week, so it's time to sit back, relax, and join our favorite depressing conversation once again. But you know what is the cure for this depressing conversation? Hitting the like button on today's video. If we could hit 300 likes, my soul will be so happy. But seriously, if you could hit like, that would really be awesome. All right, so we've been here making videos on the channel over the course of the last couple of weeks, and we've been talking about how we're just absolutely convinced that XDefiant is supposed to be dropping by March 31st. Right? Because of the Ubisoft fiscal report that has XDefiant Season 0 slated to come out by the end of that time frame. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put it down right now. Here it is, as you guys are watching this video on Monday, March 18th. If we do not get a statement from Mark Rubin, from XDefiant, from Ubisoft today, I do not think that we are getting XDefiant in the month of March. It literally only makes sense that if they were to launch this game this month, that they would announce it basically today. That's my opinion on that, but we've got a lot of things that have happened over the course of this past week to really emphasize that idea that XDefiant is not coming in March. And once again, it stems from our good old pal Tom Henderson. Thank you, Tommy boy. Tom Henderson was once again asked on Twitter this past week about XDefiant, and he replied stating that he would be giving a report on the game at the end of the month. Now, last time we had heard from Tom, he was telling us that the game, you probably shouldn't expect to play it anytime soon because they're having some squabbling behind the scenes. Higher management wanting to put new things into the game, they do that, then it breaks it, then it delays it, blah, blah, blah. Well, he has come back to provide some more details about this, and he is saying on his perspective, yes, absolutely, XDefiant is going to get pushed outside of that March 31st Q4 2023 deadline that we were really looking forward to at this point. Everybody has been looking to the idea of a March release, and Tom Henderson at least is convinced that that is not happening, and he's going to let us know in detail about it at the end of March. So at the very least, if we don't have the game in March, at the end of March, we're going to figure out why that is from Tom. Now, he actually goes on to tell us that apparently the game was scheduled to come out at the end of February, the last week of February. We should have been playing XDefiant, but something happened, and now we're not. In fact, that's actually why the trophies were activated on PlayStation, apparently accidentally, because the game was supposed to be coming out the last week of February. And according to what he has stated before, the only thing that we can kind of deduce here is that perhaps they were ready to go to launch it. Maybe they were told, hey, you need to add this feature, or hey, you need to do this thing. They did it, and then it broke the game, and then they weren't able to launch it in that state. It's the only thing that I can think of here, but according to what Tom is saying, we could have been playing this game several weeks ago at this point. And that is just so hurtful to my soul because I'm sitting here every day just, my God, man, like, please let me play the game. I went back and looked at my stream that I did in September of the PC PTS that happened for 6 hours. If you guys remember that, I was just watching myself play that game and I'm just like, bro, can I just have this in my life, please? I would love for this to be in my life. But basically what it sounds like is going on is there's a bit of a weird situation happening behind the scenes. We don't know what it looks like, obviously. This is just things that have been stated back and forth from people online and from Tom Henderson himself. But it looks like there is something that is causing the work pathway to be obstructed. So every time we get close to getting the game, they're like, but wait, there's more. And then we have to get delayed again even further. So at this point, with all that being said, I don't think we're getting the game in March if all of this that is being said by Tom Henderson is in fact true. And at this point, Tom has actually been showing a lot of new information about a lot of different things outside of XDefiant recently, and he's been right. So I'm pretty sure we could trust this guy, guys. Now, he also says that he doesn't know if they're going to, when they do come out and tell us that there is a delay, he doesn't know if they're going to actually give us an official release date then. He has no idea. He does believe, though, that within this month, Ubisoft should come out and make a statement saying, hey, guys, you know, we're pushing the game back again, you know, such and such amount of time, but, you know, whatever. But he does think that they should say something official, being that so many people are expecting the game coming out by the end of this month. But, you know, at this point, we've been pretty silent on the communication aspect, officially, that is, so who knows if that's really going to happen at this point. Now, he does emphasize, though, once again, he does reply to somebody stating that the game is not canned, it's not canceled. the game is coming. It is on its way. It's just unfortunately looking like it's not going to come out when we all wanted it to and have been expecting it to. So, you know, take that as you will. Personally, I feel like at this point, if the game doesn't come out here in this month of March, then it's just going to be a Q1 of their 2024 fiscal year, which runs from like April to July, something like that. So, I mean, basically, we're just looking at a late spring or summer release date, in my opinion, at this point, which would then kind of make it a year delay, which would be unfortunate. But I'm still holding out hope that the game's going to be really good. So that's where I'm sitting at. Now, with all that being said, with all of this news that did come out this past week, the community of XDefiant has kind of erupted in a great ball of fire. If you guys are on the official XDefiant Discord, literally at any point of any day, at any time, it is pretty much just toxicity 24/7. We might as well just rename the XDefiant Discord server the Toxicity Discord server. I mean, it's just, it's actually kind of insane how rude people are in that server to the devs, to the mods, to the other people in there. Guys, if you want to maintain your sanity, do not sit in that Discord server every day. It is astonishing. So with that being said, I do want to just personally extend a thank you to Zach and Golden Raven specifically on the server. There are some Ubisoft developers that are in there and do communicate from time to time with the people. Thank you guys for maintaining a level head. And then also just thank you to all the other devs and everyone else that's a part of the XDefiant team. Thank you for enduring the sheer toxic mess that has happened in the community over the course of the last couple of months. I can't imagine it's very easy to witness that when you know that behind the scenes you're working on something fantastic and then, you know, you have this whole ordeal happening in the public eye because people don't know what's going on behind the scenes and they're just going crazy. And I can imagine it being very difficult. So with that said, I do just want to thank you guys, and I'm excited for the game whenever it does come out. Now, speaking of different devs, Aches actually did say something. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it was kind of interesting to see him tweet this a couple of days ago on Twitter. He was just replying to a Call of Duty esport professional, TJ Haley, basically just telling him to get ready to learn XDefiant, buddy. I mean, this isn't really a big deal, but it's just interesting to see Aches is fully, you know, like I feel like if you weren't expecting XDefiant to be coming out, you wouldn't be talking about XDefiant to people. So, you know, there's a little tidbit of information right there. You know, it's nice to see Aches talking about XDefiant. So fingers crossed it's not too long of a delay, you know. But just at this point, man, I am to a situation with XDefiant where it's like, I kind of see it as a humorous situation. I don't know, maybe it's just like denial or whatever, but I'm super excited for the game. And at this point, I'm not shocked by the lack of communication. I'm not shocked by the idea of a delay. I'm not shocked by any of these things. Did you guys see the release of the Star Wars Battlefront collection that came out this past week and how apparently they had like 3 working servers? That is an absolute travesty of a release of a game that was so beloved by so many people, and you literally released an absolute mess. Very reminiscent, by the way, of Halo the Master Chief Collection. That was a game that was supposed to be loved by many, and it took literal years to actually work. I'm not kidding. It took years for the Master Chief Collection to work. Now it is an amazing game with so much content, but it took a long time and it completely just lost all of the huge fan base that could have been there at the start. So, once again, I do just want to say this. Yes, XDefiant getting delayed or potentially pushed back again is disappointing. Absolutely. I wish we were playing this game at the end of February like apparently we could have been. Abso-freaking-lutely. I want to play this game right now, and I am very frustrated that we've had such a long delay and little communication about it. I am. I'm disappointed that we're not able to play the game right now. But listen, this is such an important thing, guys. If the game isn't ready to come out, it's not ready to come out, and I would rather them wait a few weeks to fix some things in the game and then release it than drop the game in the absolutely unplayable state like Star Wars The Battlefront Collection. That game is literally unplayable and immediately upon release garnered a whole hell of a lot of negative public perception and press. So if XDefiant is in a similar state, why would they launch that knowing good and well what's going to happen? You guys know how big of a deal a first impression is, especially for a free-to-play game like this. A first impression needs to be positive. And yes, they already have a lot of good positive perception based off what everyone has played so far, but if they launch the game and it doesn't work, that is going to hurt the game way more in the long run than a couple months of a delay. Now, with that being said, I do think that with the game being potentially pushed back even farther, and certainly at this point being delayed at least 6-ish months, I have a strong feeling that they're gonna be able to have a lot of really good stuff in the game at launch. And if you want to learn about what some of those things actually could be, then check out this video on screen now.